Hello and welcome back to the channel. So I recently held a members poll to decide the content of this particular video, and I am super happy with the outcome. If you've been following the channel for a while, you will know that I have a special affinity for this, the Psion II, at least in part to the ability to write, translate and run programs without the need of an additional computer or IDE. The Psion II was also popular in industrial, commercial and of course private hands because of its flexibility and the many accessories that were produced, which included barcode readers, text-to-speech synthesizers, data loggers and of course this, the Psion II printer. A big shout out goes to Jan Brink from the Netherlands, who sold me this via the Psion user group on Facebook, without which, of course, I couldn't make this video. So let's take a look. So compared to the Psion II, the Psion II printer is actually pretty big. It's certainly not going to fit in your pocket, but it is suitable to go in a briefcase, for example, or be carried around as part of a kit. Its industrial design would look equally at home on an engineering floor, out and about, or on a desk in an office. At the top you can see the paper roll. This is the slot for the Series 2 itself. If we flip it on the side, we've got a comms port door, and we've also got the power socket. Underneath, we've got a single door. Currently that screw has gone, so I need to drill it out. But under here would be the battery pack. So it uses a NiCad battery pack rated at 7.2 volts. So it's actually 6 AAA batteries all pinned together, and apparently takes up to 12 hours to charge when plugged in. On this side, there's nothing else. And then down at the bottom, this little piece here actually pulls down a little and then flips round so you can seat the Psion II in it. It's worth noting that the power supply for this is enormous. So this is an original Psion printer power supply, and it's a huge brick. It's very heavy, and it actually only outputs 10.4 volts at 600 milliamps. Hence why it takes so long to charge up the internal battery. Talking of the battery, it should run an hour on battery, printing non-stop. In addition, it's worth noting that when the Psion II is plugged into the printer, it will draw its power either from the power supply or the battery in the Psion II printer. So let's get this plugged in, and then we'll have a look at what you can do in terms of printing. So there's no fancy indicator lights to tell you that the power is on. When you're ready, what you need to do is pop your Psion in the tray, open the port, roll it down, and push it in. Now you need to turn it on, and then you need to give it a moment while it installs the printer software.
2 very boring minutes later.
So that should be it. I'll just go to info, and what you'll see is when it scrolls around, we currently have 84% free, so 15% has been taken up. There we are, 14% has been taken up by devices, and the remaining 1% by the bits and bobs that I've already put on. So that's working. So just bear in mind you need 2.5K of RAM free on your device in order to operate the printer. So I think if you have the CM model, you are going to struggle. This is the 16K version of the XP. So a couple of things. First of all, you might want to forward the paper a little bit, and the way we do that is to press Shift and then space, and that simply releases some paper. Next up, if we pop to diary, if you wanted to print off an entry in your diary, and I've put one in just here, you can just press Shift and then you can press the back arrow, and that should print whatever's on the screen. So we'll just pull the paper forward so that we can see what it's printed, and there it is. So it's printed the time and the function from the diary. So whenever you press Shift and the back arrow, it will print whatever's on screen. I don't know if it works for the menu. Oh, looks like it does. Yeah, there we are. So it'll print literally whatever is on the screen. Supposing you have something a little bit bigger, such as this, which is going to occupy 3 lines. I think you can guess what's coming next. Then in theory, when in find mode, it should print the whole of the memo. And there it is. And we'll just bring it forwards a bit. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So it is a little bit faint on here. I'm not sure if it's because my paper's a little aged or because the head isn't getting up to temperature quite properly, but it is working, so I am happy with that. If we edit this one and move everything to a single line, hopefully it'll all fit on. So we'll just save that, find it, and then we'll print it. And we got a slightly longer pause, and I think that's because it has indeed printed a longer line. One of the other things you might be interested in is you can cancel it mid-print by pressing the on button. This can sometimes leave the print head midway, and to bring the print head back you would press Shift and space, and that should bring the print head back. Although on this occasion, I think it may have just printed whatever was on the screen. So now we've seen how to print from memos and from diary. You can of course print any programs that you've written. It's slightly different here, so we'll just go find a program. I've got none on A, but I should have a few written on C. So we'll use timer. So we're going to go list, C, put in timer, and when we hit enter, it should print it off. And there we have it, my timer program. So if you've got your Psion connected to your printer most of the time, so you might want a program to print out to the printer rather than printing to the screen. The command for this is the same as print, it's just preceded by the letter L. If we create a new program, and let's see if that works. And let's bring that page up. And there it is, hello world. One of the things to be aware of when using the printer is that if you run in a program like this, if instead of putting just hello world, you then add a colon after it, so it's waiting for another bit of text, it won't actually output it to the printer. So we're just going to give that a go and see what happens. And that's it, we're out of the program. So as you can see, it didn't offload it to the printer. So you must make sure that there's a carriage return at the end by not leaving a semicolon. Once you unplug the Psion itself, free it from the port and swivel that up. In order to free up the memory, what you need to do is press it on, press on and clear, and then in theory, it should have got rid of all that extra program memory. And there we go, 98% free because there's only a diary and a couple of bits. According to the manual, the printer uses a 112mm by 30mm roll. Unfortunately, these are not very common anymore. I did find a single supplier in the UK that could provide that size of paper. However, they were astronomically expensive. Hop onto Amazon and I've gone for something close at 110mm by 30mm. I don't imagine that 2mm is going to be a big deal, and suddenly it's £16 for 3 rolls. So I've ordered those, and it's good to know that we can still get replacement paper. I will let you know in the comments below how I got on with the new paper and just let you know it's compatible and all the rest, and should you wish, I can always add a link. If you are enjoying this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and if you're really enjoying this video, you might want to consider becoming a member. If that's something you're interested in, have a look at the short video here. I am trying to reach 4,000 subs by the end of the year, although it's looking very unlikely at this point, so if you've not subscribed, please do. Should you be fortunate enough to own an LZ, things are even easier when it comes to using the printer. So we'll just give that a moment to load the software. So for the standard file system, things are the same as they are on the XP model. So if you bring it up, you need to press Shift and backspace, and it'll print off the whole of whatever's written. There we are. However, if you're using the new notepad function, all you need to do is press mode and scroll along to print. Pressing print will then print whatever's there. There's nothing there. So it's just printed notepad. In addition, with diary, pressing mode allows you to print your diary. And you can choose all or partial. We'll do partial, and we'll do it from Monday to Friday, because that's all I've inputted anyway. So as you can see, that could be very useful. If you've got a busy diary or you need to share some calendar information with somebody, you can just print off the relevant days. Finally on here, the other one worth noting is that when you go to program, instead of having list, we have print. And obviously it does the same as list would do, but it's now called print. In addition to what we've looked at, the printer can also print out from third-party apps such as Pocket Spreadsheet, as well as produce rudimentary graphics using Oscillocode from the standard Oscillocode table, and there's also the option of creating up to 7 user-specified characters in Oscillocode. The line length on the printer can be set to 20, 40, 60 or 80 characters, and you do this using the command lprint character and in brackets 14, 15, 23 or 22 correspondingly. It does seem a little odd that 23 would give you 60 and 22 would give you 80, but according to the manual, that's what it does. I must admit, I haven't actually tried it, as I've had it set to 40 characters, and that seems about right for my purposes. In addition, you can make the text underlined, and through OPL there are many other options. I've left a link below to the manual so you can check those out for yourself. As I say, I have new paper on the way, and I'm going to try and order a new print head for it. I think this will give me better printing results, and hopefully mean that this device will run perfectly for many years to come. Talking of which, the power brick, which is gigantic, is also starting to wear a bit. So I've got frayed cable at the end where it comes out. I've put some tape over it for the moment, but it's clear that the casing for the cable itself is starting to become brittle, and so really I could do with replacing this. Aside from that, being able to run it on battery would be very convenient, but a 6-cell NiCad battery pack made to the original spec will take between 12 and 14 hours to charge, which is inconvenient. So I think I have 2 viable options. Number 1, replace the current power adapter with a more modern one, buy 6 NiCad cells, some nickel strip and some shrink wrap, and rebuild the original battery pack. Or number 2, ditch this ancient power brick altogether, add a USB socket, a lithium-ion battery, and bring it into the 21st century. Let me know in the comment which route you think I should take, but certainly I need to do something so I can keep it running. A huge thanks goes to everyone who supports the channel through subscription, through viewing, comments, and of course mostly to my members, both for choosing this video and helping to support the channel in general. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next video. As always, my name's Hugh, this is Handheld Computing, thanks for watching.